Wolverhampton.
Ah.
And this one is a station.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to spend a few beers and
Station Central.
you have to get a link out there. So you have to go direct to Wolverhampton from Cov.
What about that tram line?
My lad does it.
Off that tram line.
Just be good to go, have a few drinks another day then, rather than just go in the car. Big game, isn't it?
Curry house on the ground.
Cool after the game.
No guarantee of anything.
Going live in 10 seconds. It's Derby Day in Coventry. Welcome to Hillz FM Matchday with Liam Cook for live coverage of Coventry United's 5th pre-season match. It's Coventry Copeswood versus Coventry United here at Copeswood Sports and Social Club. We are roughly 10 minutes away from kick-off, and as I say, it is Derby Day with the two Coventry sides going head to head. Last season these two sides played each other twice, one home, one away, and let's just say it was a little bit lopsided towards Coventry United, with the Red and Greens with a victory on aggregate 13-0, 10-0 at home and 3-0 away. So Copeswood will be looking to exact some sort of revenge today here at the Copeswood Sports and Social Club. Of course, today is just a friendly match, an impromptu friendly match. We expected there to just be 5 pre-season matches. We've already had 4 of them, and the 5th and final one was set for this coming Saturday when United travel to Hampton. But it turns out that the club have organised a friendly right here against Coventry Copeswood, and it's taking place in just 10 minutes time. So we've had to hastily get all the equipment ready, charge the batteries and get going for tonight's match. So as always, we are broadcasting live on YouTube. We're bringing this coverage to you free of charge every single match day, and of course you are very welcome to join us here on Hillz FM Matchday with Liam Cook. Don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at MatchdayHills, where we are now up to 195 followers. So for anything that you would like to say on today's action, or if you want to give us your reaction, just let us know on Twitter at MatchdayHills is the way to go. If you haven't got Twitter and you have got Facebook, get in touch with me on Facebook, and the name that you need is Liam Hall Cook. Right, we are closing in on kickoff. We are hoping to bring you the starting lineup very shortly, and as always for pre-season matches, there are 2 golden rules of pre-season matches. Number 1, we don't have the the opposition team sheet, I should say. We don't get given the team sheet for the opposition in pre-season matches. And secondly, we are not allowed to name any players on trial for Coventry United at the request of Coventry United Football Club. So apart from those 2 little side rules, we are set to go. We're also going to be bringing you updates from another match including a Coventry-based team, and that is Coventry City, and their penultimate pre-season fixture is at Carrow Road and is against Norwich City, and their team news is going to be coming out very shortly, so we'll be bringing you updates on that game and any others that we can get our hands on. Also some transfer news to bring you as and when we get it. So yeah, we do like to be helpful here on Hillz FM Matchday. Now we have been watching the players train and warm up, and what I have noticed is there are a couple of main absentees. Firstly, there's no Chris Cox, the skipper is taking a well-earned rest today, and also there is no Rich Morris. The man they dubbed England's #1 around these parts is not playing today, and instead it looks very much like Coventry United's under-21 goalkeeper Lee Little will be making his first ever start for the Red and Green Army's senior team. That could still change though. We could still have a couple of late arrivals. We'll have to wait and see what happens. We are still awaiting an official team sheet for this game, but we have got ourselves a little view on the side pitch here at Copeswood Sports and Social Club. The usual pitch is being used for, I believe it's a game of cricket. So we've been bumped over to the other side of the complex, but we've got ourselves a lovely little view on the grass embankment on this far side of the Sports and Social Club. So yeah, we've got a fantastic view. It's going to be a great game today, and like I say, we are expecting a team sheet through very shortly for Coventry United. Now, as we always do, we're going to bring you up to date with the latest sports headlines before we get things underway. Firstly, the big news coming out of the world of football tonight is that Gonzalo Higuain has become the world's third most expensive player, I should say. He's completed a £75 million move from Napoli to Juventus. The Argentine striker has completed his move for £75 million and becomes the third most expensive player in football history. He signed a 5-year deal with the Serie A champions, and that contract is said to be worth at least £6.3 million per season. I mean, for saying how much that they've spent on this player, £75 million, and Gareth Bale, of course, who holds the world record for an £85 million deal, which took place 3 years ago. And I tell you what, Juventus have been very busy this summer with 5 signings now, including former Barcelona man Dani Alves. So they have been busy boys over there at Juventus, club that they call the Old Lady. And so do not ask me why, because firstly I don't know, and secondly it's a very strange nickname. Also, we're hearing that the deal between Juventus and Manchester United for Paul Pogba has stalled. The Frenchman was supposed to come to Manchester tomorrow for a medical. We're hearing that the famous agent who has been getting involved in this deal, because quite frankly he's looking after his own pockets, if you know what I mean. Basically, he's saying that he wants more money from the club and has told Pogba not to take part in a medical until his fees are sorted. So once again, Pogba's agent playing a huge part in scuppering Manchester United's plans for the young French midfielder. Hopefully we'll get some more news on that a little bit later on. There's been rumours of Arsenal possibly signing a new attacker. At last they are going after a decent striker. For many years they've been saying that they're going to sign a, quote, world-class striker in the summer. And who they got? Maran Chamakh and Olivier Giroud, that's pretty much it. But in the last 24 hours, there's been a lot of rumours going on that Arsenal have been looking at Lyon striker Alexandre Lassetti, and there were talks of a possible £40 million bid on the table from Arsenal, but the French club have, quote, categorically denied receiving a £40 million offer for Lassetti. Apparently an initial bid of just under £30 million was rejected, but we are hearing that Arsenal are set to make another one. So we'll have to wait and see how that story pans out. But they really do need another striker if they're going to mount a serious title push. Let's have a look at one more story before we get set for tonight's match. And here is a big one. Norwich have made a £10 million bid for Fulham's Ross McCormack. Of course, the Canaries in action tonight against Coventry City at Carrow Road, and we're hearing that Ross McCormack is heading to Norwich in a £10 million deal from Fulham, where he has been for the last 2 years. We're hearing that for the last 6 months or so he's been unhappy at the Cottagers and has wanted to leave the club. With Fulham pretty much saying that they are not going to sell. We are being told that Fulham want a little bit more for the 29-year-old Scotsman. They want at least 12 million. But of course, Norwich have only tabled a £10 million bid. Aston Villa are also interested in signing the Scotland international who moved to Fulham from Leeds for £11 million 2 years ago. And talking of Norwich, apparently former Coventry City winger Jacob Murphy could be going to Reading for £300,000. So quite a lot of news coming out of Norwich in the last few hours or so, and we are hoping to get some team news from that match between Norwich and Coventry City, and we will be bringing you updates from that match as and when we get them right here on Hillz FM Matchday. And the match here at the Copeswood Sports and Social Club is set to begin in around 5 minutes time. The first teams have retired to the dressing rooms, and we are waiting the arrival of the blue side and the red side of Coventry. Good old-fashioned Derby Day pre-season match. So oddly enough, today is actually a 7 o'clock kickoff, not the usual 7:45 that we get during a midweek game. But of course, it's better than doing nothing, sitting at home on a Tuesday. So it's good to be out getting some fresh air and watching some good non-league football. Of course, these two sides played each other last year in the Midland League Premier Division. They won't be playing each other in the forthcoming season. Copeswood still in the Midland League Division 1. United now promoted to the Premier Division. And today is the first show since the new fixtures were announced for the Midland League season. And for those of you who haven't found out how you can follow United this season, United's first match sees them travel to, basically I'm going to tell you, this is my dream start to the season. It's Sporting Cowser. So United's first league match is away at Sporting Cowser in 2 weeks' time, just over 2 weeks' time, and that is on Saturday the 13th of August. So that's Sporting Cowser away, Saturday the 13th of August. That's United's first league match. And for those of you who don't know who Sporting Cowser are, basically they are owned by a Sikh consortium. They're based in Wolverhampton. They got through to the first round of the FA Cup last season, and also, this is a sweetener, they got their own curry house on at the ground. So there you go. The first home match is against Roster on Tuesday the 16th of August. There's no match the following Saturday for some reason. So the next match is on the 23rd, that's away at Copeswood, where we've already been in pre-season. Wolveranians are on the 27th, and Boldmist St Michael's, familiar opposition there. They are hosting United on the 29th of August. A few more big matches to tell you about. Loughborough University, that is on Tuesday the 8th of November. That's an away game. The FA Vars match away at Racing Club Warwick is it's on Saturday the 10th of September, and this is the big one. If you haven't heard this is the granddaddy of all fixtures. Huge Coventry derby on Boxing Day, which is Monday the 26th of December. That's Coventry Sphinx versus Coventry United. That is going to be a huge game, and the game that we're hoping is going to be United's Midland League Premier Division coronation. Is the home match against Boldmist St Michael's on the 29th of April. That's a Saturday, and that is the final match of the Midland League Premier Division. So can United grab themselves a fourth successive promotion? Of course, we'll have to wait and see, but not long to go now. We have exactly 11 days until the start of the new Midland League Premier Division. We're all very excited here at Coventry United, and once again the United fans have come in their numbers to support their boys today, who we are expecting to wear the traditional civic colours of the city of Coventry, which is of course the red and green, and Copeswood are going to be in their all dark blue strips. And of course the Copeswood team now under new management, with their previous manager joining Coventry Sphinx over the summer. So of course it's a new beginning for Coventry Copeswood this season as well. We are expecting the two teams to exit the dressing rooms very shortly. In fact, we are supposed to be kicking off right now. So we are officially behind schedule for today's match. You can say what you like about Coventry United, they're fantastic players, they're great lads, but their timekeeping is not fantastic. We kicked off 5 minutes early on Saturday, and now we're kicking off late on the Tuesday. But you can catch everything that happens right here at Copeswood Sports and Social Club, live on Hillz FM Matchday with Liam Cook. And don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at Matchday Hillz for anything that you want to say on the action. The referee in his line's been getting ready for the match, waiting for the arrival of the two Coventry teams. So it's been a mixed pre-season for Coventry United so far. The last time that United played was on Saturday at the Champney Springs Spa in Ashby de la Zouch, Leicestershire, where Coventry United grabbed the victory. A clean sheet for the under-21s goalkeeper Lee Little, and also another goal for Kevin Thornton, his second goal for the club, and he was very close to grabbing a third straight Man of the Match award from Hillz FM Matchday. But the debut performance of a 17-year-old wonder kid in Lewis Hudson, he really stole the spotlight on Saturday, so we had to give the Man of the Match award to Lewis, and I believe that Lewis Hudson is going to be starting today's match at left back. Jamie Coleman, Callum Burgess, Tommy Glasgow also starting, and Josh O'Grady in the starting lineup as well. You can see a couple of the United substitutes in front of us, including Muzzy Nduna and Anton Williams. I believe Pierre Mudim's in there as well. And here come the Coventry Copeswood team, home side in their full dark blue kits. We are awaiting the arrival of the current reigning Midland League Division 1 champions. Now we've just got team news coming through from Coventry City, their match at Norwich City. The first team lineup for them is Charles Cook, Willis, Harries, Lee, Gadzev, Rose, Haynes, Dion Kelly-Evans, Sordell, Spence and Thomas. I believe that's George Thomas, rather than the Derby striker Quayne Thomas, who has joined the Sky Blues in the last few weeks. And here come the Red and Green Army of Coventry United, the reigning Midland League Division 1 champions, a team who had an absolute goal fest against Copeswood last season, first beating them 10-0 at Sphinx Drive and then 3-0 here at Copeswood Sports and Social Club. And once again with the captain's armband is the former Coventry City man Kevin Thornton, in the absence of Chris Cox. Let's go through the starting lineup for Coventry United. In the goal, making his first senior start for the Red and Green Army is the under-21s goalkeeper Lee Little. He's putting some impressive displays from the bench. Richard Morris not here today, so they've given the kid his big chance between the sticks. In the defence, we can see the last game's man of the match, Lewis Hudson, wearing the number 3 shirt. There's Elliot Palmer. Right back, we can see Tommy Glasgow, Jamie Coleman and Callum Burgess in there as well. John DeCoury is going to be starting in centre mid. Looks like we've got a trialist wearing the number 8 shirt. Brian and Love is going to be starting up front along with last season's top scorer Josh O'Grady. And of course Kevin Thornton retains his starting place as well. And we always had amongst the substitutes the Man Mountain striker Antonio Williams. Live coverage of Copeswood versus United here on Hillz FM Matchday with Liam Cook. And some of the fans are going to get a closer look at the action. This is the only time that these two sides will face each other this season, excluding cup competitions, of course. And I believe the only cup that these two can face off in is the FA Vase and the Polymac Packaging League Cup. And talking of the League Cup, United have St Andrews away in the first round of that competition. And we kick things off here at the Copeswood Sports and Social Club. Like we say, a number of absentees from the starting lineup. Rich Morris is not here, neither is Chris Cox or Rob Prinzel. So another opportunity for players such as Lewis Hudson and Brian and Love to prove themselves. It looks like United are going for a 5-3-2 here, using the wing-back formation, which can be good as long as you've got attacking fullbacks. We've seen Coventry City use this a couple of times in the past, but unless those wing-backs can push forward and help out with the attack, you're going to nullify your goal-scoring threat. So you've got to be very careful with this system. It seems as if Tommy Glasgow, who is used to playing in midfield, he's going to be filling in the right wing-back position. And Lewis Hudson, who we did see making some decent strides forward, he's taking up the left wing-back position. So like I say, as long as you've got attacking players at wing-back, you should be all right. So we'll see how things shape up as Copeswood have won themselves a throw level with the United penalty area. Being forced back here, good directed pressure from Kevin Thornton, once again wearing the armband, and Love gets stuck in with a challenge and takes the ball away. Now Thornton tries a long pass away, it's blocked well, Copeswood come away with the ball again. Thornton makes Copeswood lose the ball once again, and Palmer has to boot that one away, just kept in there by Tommy Glasgow. Stab towards Callum Burgess, long ball, O'Grady making the run, not far enough to meet the feet of the 30-goal striker from last season. Copeswood had possession but put it out for a... No, it's just kept in. Looks like it was going to go out for a throw-in, but it's not been given. A long ball down line, it's gone straight out for a goal kick. Live coverage of Coventry United away at Coventry Copeswood this evening. As Lee Little takes his first goal kick in his first start for Coventry United, and quite a surprising one today. We told you a few weeks ago that Keenan Palmer has signed for Coventry United from Ashby Ivanhoe, the former Nuneaton Griff midfielder, and we're now being told that Palmer is in fact playing for Copeswood this evening as and Love puts a header wide. It's been called for offside anyway. So yeah, Keenan Palmer, the Coventry United signing of just a few weeks ago, has in fact, I believe he's playing for Coventry Copeswood this evening. So strange developments. We'll try and keep you updated with the latest developments in the Keenan Palmer case. And of course, Keenan's brother Elliot is playing at centre-back for Coventry United this evening. He's been signed up to a contract after an impressive trialist appearance against Studley. No trialist in the starting line. In fact, no, we've got one trialist at centre mid for Coventry United this evening, and another one on the bench as well. And of course, at a request from the football club, we are unable to name any of the players on trial. But luckily, there's only two of them today, so we should be able to bring you the majority of the game. Now to pick up the ball with Jean Dacoury, who has, of course, returned to Coventry United. And Dacoury wins himself a free kick after the Copeswood man fell and refused to let the ball go. Here's Elliot Palmer, finds 17-year-old Lewis Hudson. Tries to turn his man, hasn't been able to do so, but it's been knocked out for a Cov United throw. Takes on short to Thornton, back to Hudson, back to Thornton, pressure from behind. Thornton still going, moves into the centre and lays it off for Callum Burgess. Great work there from the former Coventry City and Northampton Town man. Ball towards O'Grady, cut out by the Copeswood man, took a little bit of O'Grady with him. A long ball down the right wing, that should be easily dealt with by Callum Burgess. He should let that one go out for a goal kick, indeed he does. And he'll roll that one over to the young goalkeeper Lee Little, making his first senior start for United. He's made 3 substitute appearances where he has conceded 3 goals. He's conceded 2 against, I believe it was 2 against Studley, 1 against Chelmsley, and he kept a clean sheet on a 30-minute display at the weekend against Ashby. So he's been getting better, this young guy. He's got a lot of confidence around him with his goal kicks and his positioning. There's a goal kick to Coleman. Flicked on by Dacoury, trying to find Hudson, cut out by the Copeswood man. But here comes Dacoury with the ball, under pressure from behind. Tries to lay it off to Hudson. He's forced off the ball. Hudson tries to win it back and does so. He's under pressure from the blue side of Coventry. His pass is cut out, but it only goes out for a United throw. Roughly 5 minutes gone. Here at the Copeswood Sport and Social Club. Remains Copeswood 0, United 0. United pass it around in their own defensive area with Jamie Coleman.
90 attendance, not bad, is it? Friendly game, pre-season.
Dakuri, trip from behind, referee says no foul. O'Grady loses the ball. Copeswood are under pressure now from the Red and Green Army. It's blocked by Hudson, out for a Copeswood throw, just in front of the Copeswood managerial team. We are on the side pitch here at the Copeswood Sports and Social, so no dugouts, no grandstand. This is my 5th pre-season match, and I have yet to sit down in any of them.
Pre-season training, isn't it?
We managed to find ourselves a little stall. Hey, you know what? That'll do. If it takes my weight, that'll do.
It's the press box.
Wouldn't it?
No, I wouldn't sit on that.
Is it? Oh.
I'm about 20 stone, so I'll probably break it as well.
Actually, I have got a seat. Do you want?
Nah. Facilities are not up to scratch. I'm used to better than this.
You're used to the hill at Northampton, aren't you?
Copeswood with an opportunity here from a throw-in, halfway into United's half. Flicked onto the winger, cross from the right-hand side was blocked. It's gone out for a Copeswood throw on this right wing. United pushing all but O'Grady and Love back to help out, crowding the penalty area. Copeswood trying the long throw routine as well. They've got to find the ball first. It's going into a lot of roughage on the far side. A lot of long and arduous greenery. Long throw into the area. Number 16 gets his head on it. United able to nod it out with Tommy Glasgow. Still an opportunity here for a cross from the number 9. A good block by Glasgow. Once again, good defensive pressure there from the right wing back. It's a midfield battle now as United try and win the ball back. Trying to force Copeswood into a mistake. But so far, the Midland League Division 1 side are able to quell.
Well, to be honest, mate, you'll have a tinge of regret still.
Make some room down the right hand side, cross. It's offside against the number 9, but it's headed out by Tommy Glasgow anyway, and I believe the referee has allowed for play on. In fact, no, he's gone back to the flag, and it will be a United throw. This takes the goal kick, nearly net by Unlove, but it's come to Dakuri. Palmer. Now Hudson. Here come Copeswood, makes some progress down the centre. Good challenge there by Dakuri. Ball through the defence, not quite. It was going towards Unlove, it was well cut out by the centre back. His long ball effort towards the left wing, not quite so accurate. It's gone straight out into the roughage once again for a goal kick. Little able to find the ball quite easily this time. His vibrant neon green goalkeeper shirt. His first senior appearance with Coventry United after 3 substitute appearances. Goalkeeper taking towards the left wing, nodded on by Hudson, couldn't quite find O'Grady. Copeswood trying to shepherd the ball away from the red and green onslaught here. Being forced back to the defence, a long ball from the right back goes out for another throw into United, and once again the United men have got to go and find the ball because it's gone into the rough greenery on the far side of the pitch. I think they might be getting the lawnmower out for the second half. They have to take the throw. They've lost it in the centre as the Copeswood skipper makes some progress down the right hand side. You're trying to cover him off here. And they've forced Copeswood back into their own defensive zone. And here comes Fortin intercepting the ball, cross into the area. Can Unlove get there? No, he can't. But he dispossesses the defender, and Unlove still got 1 man in front of him. Still Brian Unlove gets past one, and it's called as a foul against Brian Unlove. A push on the defender who's trying to sort himself out and get past his man. He did so, but he did so a little bit too forcibly. And it is a free kick now to Coventry Copeswood. And Love taking more of a prominent starting role in pre-season. Some impressive performances, scoring twice against Studley. There is some competition in the striking department for Coventry United this season, with Antonio Williams, Matt Brown and Brian and Love all vying for a starting place. But of course the midfield is looking very congested now as well, which has seen Keenan Palmer become frustrated with his position with the club, and we believe he's going to be lining up for Copeswood tonight after a very short spell with United. Hudson plays it into the centre with Love. Now Kevin Thornton. Coleman. Ball to the left-hand side looking for Hudson. Plays it back to Elliot Palmer, Keenan's brother. Thornton into the centre to Jean Decory. Option on the right with Callum Burgess. Finds Burgess. And the trialist midfielder making the run down the right-hand side and puts through Tommy Glasgow. Can he keep it in? Just about. And it's gone out for a Coventry United corner. Glasgow's attempt to keep it in was blocked by the centre-back. And Glasgow's gone to collect the ball and give it to his United teammate, Josh O'Grady. Last season's top scorer. He's already got one pre-season so far, an assist on Saturday. Can he add his collection? Puts it towards the far post, punted away by the keeper. It's still an opportunity as Decory looks to put it back in. He was looking to find O'Grady on the right wing, but his pass was far too powerful, and it's gone out for a Copeswood throw. Just over 10 minutes gone here at the Copeswood Sports and Social Club. Score remains goalless as we see the Coventry United substitutes preparing for battle in front of us, doing their usual warm-up regime, along with United coach Harry Barnes. He's managed to drag himself away from Pokemon Go for half an hour to do some work for United. As Copeswood are ready to take a goal kick, punted towards the left-hand side. Burgess tries to get his head to it, but the skipper gets there first. Elliot Palmer puts it towards the goalkeeper, and Lewis does well to grab onto it before the striker can get there. Hudson retains the ball despite some good attacking pressure from Copeswood. Jamie Coleman back to Hudson. Now Thornton, United being pressed back here. Decory does well to beat his man in the centre, beats another one. Now here's the trialist at number 8. Hudson making a run down the left wing. Hudson tripped. He's just able to find a teammate. Hudson into the penalty area. O'Grady loses it. And the move, I would have regrouped, but Elliot Palmer's header towards Thornton goes out. And it will be a Copeswood throw. But it's Copeswood attacks come to nothing. It's gone straight to Lee Little once again as United look to build from the back. They've got 5 defenders, of course, using the wing-back system. And we did say that before the game, we did say that if you're going to use the wing-back system, the wing-backs need to push forward. We've seen Hudson move a little bit further up the pitch than he's used to. Glasgow not so much. Especially with just 3 midfielders, you need those wing-backs to pull their weight in the attack. We'll see how it pans out. It's a new system. We haven't seen United trial it yet in pre-season. But after speaking to United manager Terry Anderson, the club are trying new things in pre-season. They're playing different formations, different tactics, things that United players wouldn't be used to, things they haven't tried yet, things that they've tested out in training but haven't quite fathomed in a proper match. As United look to put in a cross here with Josh O'Grady, who's got Love in the centre. It's met by the number 8 tries and just tipped over the bar by the Copeswood goalkeeper. Well, that number 8 midfielder is on trial at Coventry United, so we can't name him. He rose like a salmon, nodded it on. It looked like he was just going to dip under the crossbar, but it was palmed over by the Copeswood netminder, and it will be a Coventry United corner. The first proper shot on goal that we've had today. It's taken around 15 minutes to come. put in. Burgess is there, blocked by his own player. Another effort there from Palmer. It's blocked on the line. Doucouré blocks it, but it's given against United. It's handball. Doucouré blocking the attempted pass with his arm. And Copeswood can breathe a sigh of relief. The attack is over, and they can get on the front foot themselves with a free kick. Long ball to the right-hand side, played into the centre now. Copeswood forced to play back into the defence. Now the goalkeeper has it, and as O'Grady rushes in, trying a nuisance of himself. He put the goalkeeper under pressure, and he's forced the goalkeeper into error. It's come to Tommy Glasgow. And he's forced back now to his goalkeeper, Lee Little, who so far hasn't had too much to do. A poor pass there from Little. He has to rush out to rectify his mistake. His pass towards Coleman wasn't as powerful as it should have been. United can breathe a sigh of relief now. Thornton gets it from O'Grady, forces the roll to the right-hand side. He's tripped, but the referee says no foul, and in fact gives a throw-in to Copeswood. As Kevin Thornton was sandwiched there, it's very hard to bring a man like Kevin Thornton down, but Copeswood managed it and they won the ball. They play a long ball down the right-hand wing. It's headed back by Burgess towards the trialist at number 8. Under pressure now finds Elliot Palmer. Under pressure from, I believe that's Keenan Palmer, who's now playing for Coventry Copeswood. A long ball forward towards Doucouré, who's tripped. And this time it was on the receiving end of a free kick. You have to take it quickly. Thornton plays a 1-2 with O'Grady. Ball onto the right-hand side. Tommy Glasgow checks his run into the area. O'Grady, he's got men in front of him. Fired over the crossbar there by the trialist midfielder. The end to another promising move for Coventry United. Score remains goalless. Copeswood will regroup at a goal kick. So the Coventry City match will be kicking off in about 10 minutes' time. And they're away at Norwich City. United win the ball back in their own defensive area. Hudson's attempted clearance is blocked by the Copeswood man, but that will result in a United throw-in on their left wing. Roughly halfway into their own defensive half. Live coverage of Coventry Copeswood versus Coventry United here on Hillz FM Matchday. Don't forget you can catch us on Saturday. The coverage will kick off at 2:45 p.m. as United travel to Hampton for their final pre-season match, unless the United board are looking for another pre-season game. Weren't expecting this one, but it was released on Saturday. A run down the right-hand wing there by the Copeswood man in towards the area. Palmer was waiting, but it's booted away by the United defence. Keenan Palmer playing at number 8 for Copeswood, playing more of an attacking midfield role. Another crossing opportunity towards the far post. Number 9 jumps for it, and it's nodded over high and wide. Not at all handsome from the Copeswood man. And Little grabs the ball and gets set for a goal kick. Of course, you can get in touch with us on Twitter at Matchday Hillz. Anything you would like to say on tonight's game, get in touch. It is your show after all. At Matchday Hillz on Twitter. Or if you want to email us, hillsfmmatchday@gmail.com. United have a throw in the opposite half. They're passing it around. It's gone out for another throw in. Hudson will take it this time. Kevin Thornton. Now Elliot Palmer at centre back. Burgess. A long ball by Burgess towards the trialist number 8. Doesn't quite find him at the first attempt. He does it at the second attempt and tries to cross it in. He's tripped. The referee says no foul. Copeswood's clearance on as far as Jamie Coleman, headed up the left wing towards Thornton, who loses the ball. His pass intercepted well, but Burgess picks it up and play back to Lee Little in the United goal. Plenty of time for Elliot Palmer. Passes it on to the right-hand side towards Burgess, and Little has to deal with that one as the number 9 striker rushed in, trying to cause some mischief for United. Copeswood's throw taken quickly after the goal kick went out. The number 9 now of a crossing opportunity, puts it in, and it's just saved at the near post. I believe it took a deflection from a United man. The number 9 tried to cross it, took a touch off the leg of a United defender, and Lee Little had to be on his toes to keep that one out at his near post. Corner kick to Copeswood. 20 minutes gone at Copeswood Sports and Social Club. Well, it was a rather murky night in Coventry. No 35-degree temperatures tonight as Little comes out, tries to claim the ball, and does at the third attempt. Tried to grab it first time out, dropped it, went down to the ground to try and pick it up the second time, squirmed out of his hands, but the third time that ball was his. Of course, Little still has a lot of learning to do, but he's improving, he's learning. That's exactly what pre-season matches are all about, finding new talent, giving youngsters and fringe players an opportunity to prove themselves. That's exactly what Lewis Hudson's done. It's what Brian and Love's doing. So let's see how Little can cope starting a senior game for the first time. And Love wins it back in the centre, plays it back to Burgess, now Thornton. Not much of an attacking threat coming from United in this first half. Here's Lewis Hudson receiving a long ball onto the left wing. Control wasn't quite there, but he's won it back now. Thornton to O'Grady, who's come out of the box to meet it. Hudson, Thornton, crossing opportunity. O'Grady puts it in. Kevin Thornton, and he tries to go past the goalkeeper there, and it is a well, I thought the referee blows his whistle there, but in fact no, he hasn't. Thornton was tripped, with the goalkeeper able to gather the ball. He's booted it out now. It's gone for a Copeswood throw. So a United throw. It looked like he took a touch off a Copeswood man. Great move from Coventry United there, and once again Kevin Thornton making a nuisance of himself with his surging runs into the penalty area. It's caught a number of teams off guard in his first 3 matches. As a little bit of rain starts to come down here at the Copeswood Sports and Social Club, so I believe we'll retire under this here tree so the laptop doesn't get wet. United battle for the ball in the centre of the park and win a free kick with Jean Decouri. Here's Josh O'Grady, Glasgow making a run on the right side. O'Grady checks his run, may try on from long range and try to do too much on his own. It flies over the crossbar. Not the best effort you'll ever see from Josh O'Grady. The match at Carrow Road between Norwich City and Coventry City is about to kick off. It'll be the first time that James Maddison plays against his old club. We believed it was going to be the first time Jacob Murphy played against Coventry as well after a season on loan with the Sky Blues, but we're hearing that Murphy is off to Reading for £300,000. Cotswood on the attack on a long ball towards the left-hand side. Just kicked in by the Cotswood man despite the best efforts of Tommy Glasgow. Cross put in towards the far post. It's gone all the way through. The number 11 winger has it on the right-hand side. Thornton wins it back beautifully. But in fact, it's gone out for a Copeswood throw. Brilliant attacking opportunity here for Copeswood. As the rain starts to get a little bit heavier, there was no rain forecast for this evening. Cross put in. Easy catch for Lee Little. This is something that Little's got to deal with as well as the pressure of his first senior start, the changing weather conditions as well. His gloves are going to be getting a little bit slippery now. So really test his abilities. And Love tries the ball into the left-hand side, no one there. Cox would pick it up in the defence. But Decouri picks it up in the centre. Jamie Coleman back to Palmer as Copeswood try and force United into an error. Closing them down, Decouri. Now Burgess back to Decouri. Ball onto the left-hand side. Lewis Hudson. He's past one, but he can't get past the second man. I believe it's gone out for it has indeed gone out for a Coventry United corner. Great work once again there by Lewis Hudson, doing what a wing-back should be doing, getting stuck in there, but of course, with that attacking element of a wing-back, you need to be able to get back in your defensive zone as well. So as much as it's important to have an attacking element to that wing-back position, first of all, you've got to have the attacking style, you've got to have the stamina to get back in your defensive zone as well. There's no point in racing forward if you can't get back. The corner is put in, headed out to the near post. Love tries to find Thornton. Does just about. Here's Josh O'Grady, puts in the cross towards the far post. No one there. And the Copeswood man will let it go out for a goal kick. So roughly 25 minutes gone. At the Copeswood Sports and Social Club, still no score. Very few opportunities for either side so far. Goal kick cut out well by Callum Burgess, who puts it. I don't know, it was going out for a throw. It's kept in. Glasgow wins it back. A long lofted ball towards the right hand side and picked up beautifully there by O'Grady. He's waiting for support. Squares it to Kevin Thornton. Back to O'Grady in space on the right hand side, looking for a cross. Still waiting for the right option. Finds his way past one man. Loses it as he tries to cut into the centre. The Copeswood have still got to clear their lines here. Thornton nearly won it back, but here come the blue side of Coventry. Long ball towards the attacking zone, cut out. Thornton, the former Coventry City man, flicked on by O'Grady. Long ball by the trialist, straight into the box, into the grateful grasp of the Copeswood goalkeeper. Throw-in has been given to Coventry United on the halfway line. Hudson takes it. Decory back to Hudson, who was man of the match last time out. And Love, you see the dig in the back as he tried to control the ball and wins himself a free kick. Usually it's Decory giving away the free kicks with his rather brutish approach to the centre of midfield. He's earned quite a few set pieces for United today. And that will be another one for Coventry United, as United have won themselves a corner. Copeswood firmly believed that it was a goal kick, with the defender even grabbing the ball and taking it back to the goalkeeper until he was corrected by the official. Josh O'Grady, last season's top scorer, taking a quick one down line to Kevin Thornton. Tries to cut in, cross blocked and booted away by the Copeswood man. Glasgow able to get to the ball first after a failed header attempt by the number 9. Now Jamie Coleman playing at number 5 once again for Coventry United. Ball towards the left hand sing, kept in well by Kevin Thornton. Cuts into the centre. Decory in the centre circle. Ball to the right hand side, nearly found Glasgow. It's come back to the core after a failed clearance from the Copeswood man. Now Burgess. Decory, not just waiting to find any sort of gap in the Copeswood defence. Looking for any chink in the armour of the home side. Hudson, now Thornton. And once again, Copeswood forcing United back, but once again conceding a free kick. What can United make from this? Free kick has ultimately ended up in, I believe it is a corner kick to Coventry United. The long ball towards the area, blocked by a Copeswood man. Thornton grabs the ball. He's been taking more and more set pieces recently. And the cross is put in. It goes all the way onto the far wing and booted out for a corner kick by one of the Copeswood defenders. So the match at Carrow Road between Coventry City and Norwich City is now underway. We'll bring you score updates from that match as and when we get them, as United take the throw in. Burgess finds Josh O'Grady. Tries to find Decory, but the Copeswood man gets there first. Appeals for a foul by the Copeswood players. Fall on deaf ears as far as the referee is concerned. Coleman picks it up from Little. Now Kevin Thornton. Not much of an attacking threat so far from United. Got to wonder whether this 5-3-2 is working. Callum Burgess looking for an option now and finds Glasgow. Back to Burgess. Now in Love.
He came on board just as we got
The ball towards the left-hand wing. That's going to be too far for Hudson to travel. That will be a goal kick to Copeswood. Half an hour played. Score remains 0-0. The weather conditions have changed here in Coventry. Got light rainfall at the moment. Shouldn't be anything the players can't handle. Don't forget the next match that United will be playing is on Saturday. It's an away match at Hampton. 3 o'clock kickoff. Make it if you can. If you can't make it, then you can listen to the game in full here on Hillz FM Matchday. And up after that game is the FA Cup match against Shawbury. I'm still waiting for permission from the FA to cover that match. It's different broadcasting regulations, so we'll let you know as soon as we know what's happening with the FA Cup match. A cross is put in by the Copeswood man and easily caught by Lee Little. And a quick message here from Pete Reynolds. He's got 2 messages for the Coventry United faithful. Firstly is a farmyard noise, which I'm sure you all know. Begins with M and ends in oo. And the second one is, oh my God! I'm sure we'll be hearing that quite a few times this season. United have the ball in their own defensive area. Palmer strides forward looking for Hudson on the left wing. It's found the 17-year-old well into the area. Josh O'Grady slides there and it's put in! And Brian and Love puts the finishing touches on it. Josh O'Grady slid to get the ball past the goalkeeper. It was on its way in with a defender incoming and Love made sure it found its way into the net. And that is Brian and Love's 3rd goal of pre-season. Just over half an hour played at the Copeswood Sports and Social Club, and the score is now Coventry Copeswood 0, Coventry United 1, and it's Brian and Love who opens the scoring.
No, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. I didn't realise I didn't realise what I was doing.
I thought you were being deliberately mischievous.
Yeah, no, I didn't realise what I was doing. I've come out.
Copeswood kick off again in the centre circle. Trying to get back into this game. I think about at the back nearly lost the ball to Love right in front of the penalty area. Got to be careful with that sort of game. And Love nearly wins the ball back again. And Copeswood got to be very careful here.
No, I saw all these people in the group, blah 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 blah.
Long ball forward into the area here by Copeswood, easily gathered.
Because you've all got association with something, so you just clicked on it. It helped to set the group.
Lee Little in goal for Coventry United. A strong display so far.
I thought it was being a slide tactic from the committee, just stopping me and Harry doing it.
And it's a throw to Coventry United on the right wing in the Copeswood half.
Go on, you did it under Marion's orders, didn't you?
Wouldn't dare.
Is there another group?
Wouldn't dare. Got me something. Thursday night.
Glasgow takes the throw, Josh O'Grady. It's played towards the back 5 now. Jamie Coleman striding forward, long ball towards Josh O'Grady, onside, picks up the ball in the area, controls well, beats one man and chips over the goalkeeper. No, just wide at the far post. Brilliant control, and it looked like it was the perfect chip there from Josh O'Grady, but it just edged towards that far post, just a little bit too much. Score remains 1-0. A couple more comments here from some Coventry United fans. Another one from Pete Reynolds who says, "Is that Alan Ward next to you? Is it not past his bedtime?" No, it isn't Alan, so I know we like to slag him off, but this time it's not quite accurate.
Get down your pond!
Keto it is now. It's like Rolf Harris now. And also Paul Murphy says, "Definitely an OMG needed," after that Brian and Love goal. United try and craft goal number 2. O'Grady forced off the ball as the rain ceases at last. Burgess plays it back to the goalkeeper. Little hoofs it away. Glasgow can't keep it in as we head towards half time. About 10 minutes until the break, and don't forget, as usual, we will be taking a 10-minute break at half time to swap the laptop batteries and ensure we can bring you the second half in full here on Hillz FM Matchday. Cross put in by the Copeswood man, headed out by Elliot Palmer. And Decory. There was a little bit of grappling there in the penalty area. Well, like Palmer had his arms around one of the Copeswood men. Decory plays it across towards the left wing with Jamie Coleman. Forward towards the trialist at number 8. Through ball towards Lewis Hudson. It's going to be a challenge for him to get there. He nearly got there. Side challenge from the Copeswood man denying him. A great run there once again by Lewis Hudson, who's proven himself to be a very capable player. Just 17 years old, this fella. And to Copeswood throw just inside the United half. Let's put it in towards the far post. The United man got ahead to it. I think it was Callum Burgess who got there first. Thornton keeps it in on that left side. Has now got to think about what to do with it. Ball down line towards Unlove. Plays it onto the trialist and now back to Brian Unlove. Striding run down the left hand side. The defender gets to the loose ball first. Back to the goalkeeper. Unlove's there making a nuisance of himself. The goalkeeper has to put it out for a Coventry United throw. Great pressure there from the veteran striker, the brother of former Coventry City man Peter Unlove. Decory, now Kevin Thornton in the centre circle. Looking for an option forward. Low ball into the penalty area. It's come to Brian Unlove and smothered at the near post by the goalkeeper. It's gone out for a, I believe it's a corner kick. Great chance for Unlove to grab a second with a shot in the near post. Well kept out by the Copeswood man.
It's a complete no.
United is certainly showing some more attacking intent as the first half comes towards its conclusion. Score remains 1-0. Josh O'Grady, last season's top scorer, gets set for another set piece. Plays one short to Kevin Thornton. Back to O'Grady. O'Grady holding off his run. Thornton may try and curl one here. He's forced back and plays it to Tommy Glasgow. United looking to regroup. Thornton. United throw. Took a nick off the Copeswood man on the way through. And a goal from Carrow Road, and Norwich City take an early lead against Coventry City. And it's Wes Houlihan who has scored on 9 minutes. As United are forced back into their own defensive zone. Thornton plays it back to Callum Burgess. The three centre-backs playing amongst themselves now. Play it back onto the right-hand side with Thornton. Finds O'Grady, tried to flick it on towards Glasgow, who was nowhere to be seen. And Copeswood have it back in their possession. Long ball towards the striker, cuts out well by Burgess. Now Thornton finds Glasgow this time into the centre. Josh O'Grady. A long ball onto the left-hand side. Hudson crossing opportunity here, maybe surrounded by blue shirts, forced to play it down line to John Decory. Back into the centre of the pitch now with Kevin Thornton. Onto the right-hand side, Tommy Glasgow. Back to Thornton. Forward once again to Tommy Glasgow, looking for an option in the area. Cross is blocked. And the home side, once again, with the ball at their feet. We'll get us one away here now as Unlove blocks the clearance well. Brilliant work there by Unlove. As we're expecting about another 5 minutes of action before the half-time whistle. No drinks breaks needed today. The last couple of games we've needed a couple of breaks in the match due to the scorching heat that we've had over the last few days. Not needed tonight. We did add some added moisture on the pitch, but that wasn't coming from the drinks bottles, it was coming from the sky. United battling for the ball in the centre of the park, and it's Decory who comes away with it. It's tripped from behind, and the referee sees it and calls for the free kick, and Love is not happy about that one.
You've got to get to the station.
Thornton plays it to Glasgow, back to Thornton, back to Glasgow. United trying to make some space for themselves. Back to Thornton, plays it to Decory now, looking for O'Grady, finds O'Grady, surrounded by blue shirts, makes his run into the area, and now it's a chance for Coventry United, and it's caught well by the goalkeeper, as I believe it was O'Grady who had a chance on goal. There were calls for a penalty as you see O'Grady was tripped. United on the attack once again with Tommy Glasgow. Thornton. He's being forced back. Decory. Glasgow. Into the centre. Now here's Josh O'Grady. On the edge of the area. Still O'Grady. Fires one over the crossbar. Once again O'Grady trying to do too much on his own. He's a cracking player. But football is a team game. So as we've said, the latest score from Carrow Road, Norwich City 1, Coventry City 0, goal from Wes Houlihan. And some breaking news coming in concerning a former Coventry City man, Ryan Kent, has joined Barnsley on loan for the forthcoming season. The star of last year for Coventry City on loan from Liverpool, but he's gone up a notch, he's gone up to the Championship. They've recently promoted Barnsley. It's a done deal, he's there for the season. As Copeswood are finally ready to take this goal kick. Of course, no ball boys in this match, so the players are forced to go and get the balls themselves, leading to some added delays and added frustration for Copeswood there. Not only losing the match, they've given away another throw-in with a less than accurate goal kick. Glasgow with a couple of 1-2s with Decory. Finds Brian and Love. O'Grady. Still O'Grady onto the left-hand side with the trialist at number 8. Hudson. Hudson's got it again from the midfielder. Coleman into the centre. Thornton United being forced back towards their own goal here. Majority of the game, Copeswood able to keep United out. Got Brian Love's opener around half an hour in. It's the only blemish on Copeswood's record so far, as Tommy Glasgow receives a free kick. A couple of digs there from the Copeswood man, takes it quickly. John Decory passes into the area. And Love has been played out for a Coventry United throw right in the corner. So Love tried to find a teammate in the centre. And Tommy Glasgow is going to take it. He's got O'Grady and Thornton in support. He's also got Love in the area, finds Thornton towards his left. Been forced away from goal here is Kevin Thornton. He plays it back into the defence with Elliot Palmer. A long ball towards left-hand side towards Hudson. The 17-year-old gets there but can't find Love. A long ball towards the big number 16 for Copeswood, cut out well there by Elliot Palmer, who shepherds it out for a Coventry United throw. The number 16 striker not happy with the decision, but Palmer was right to leave the ball and let it go out. Here's Burgess. Glasgow tries to find O'Grady, well ball down line, it's well cut out. Copeswood try ball their own into the area and it's caught well by Lee Lewis, who hasn't had too much to do in his first start for Coventry United. Coleman into the centre, looking for Brian and Love, cut out well by the Copeswood man. And it's gone out for a United throw just in front of the United bench. Expecting half-time in a couple of minutes. As the number 17 striker commits a foul on Elliot Palmer as he wrestles to get to the ball first. I thought SmackDown was tonight rather than right now. United passing it around at the back. Here come Coventry United now with Simon Glasgow receiving a ball on the right wing by Josh O'Grady, making good strides forward here. Decory. United struggling to make progress now, being forced back a little bit. O'Grady across to Kevin Thornton. Good slide challenge there from the Copeswood midfielder. Decory does win the ball back but doesn't do so illegally. Ironic cheers from the Copeswood fans and players as a free kick is given. And the free kick is taken. 1-2 between the Copeswood men. And we've another free kick given this time against Jean Decory. And Decory's been getting stuck in there throughout the game. And a quick free kick taken. The referee didn't like that one. The number 3 had plenty of space on the left wing, but he was still having a chat with Tommy Glasgow and Brian Love. And the referee is telling him, Love, calm it down.
No such thing as a friendly.
There is no such thing as a friendly match. These players are proud of what they do. They're proud to be footballers. They're proud of their game, and they want to make sure that everyone knows how good they are. Jean Decory is no different. And Copeswood looking for one more chance before the half-time whistle with a free kick on the left-hand side of the penalty area. It's put in. It's headed towards goal and just wide. And that is the final action of the first half here at the Copeswood Sports and Social Club. The half-time score, Coventry Copeswood 0, Coventry United 1. Brian and Love with the only goal of the match on the half-hour mark. Josh O'Grady had a go on goal, and it was just tapped in into an empty net by Brian and Love as a defender raced in to try and get it away from the net. Apart from that, not too much to tell you about really. A couple of long-range efforts from Josh O'Grady going over the crossbar. It has not been the best attacking display from either side so far. United's 5-3-2 is doing well keeping Copeswood out at the minute, but it's not doing too much for the attacking threat. But that is the first half over for today. We'll be back in about 10 minutes' time as we get things started for the second half here at the Copeswood Sport and Social Club. So tune in about 10 minutes' time for the second half of Coventry Copeswood versus Coventry United. We are going off air for 10 minutes to swap the laptop batteries and get set for the second half. We will see you then. Don't go anywhere.
We've dominated it.